Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and just a bit of a just a random video, I suppose. A couple of quick little Luchs matches, and it's been requested on a couple of my videos now that I do a Luchs review. So I've not done a Luchs review yet. I will look at it at some point. Probably want to go down the German light tank line, but I'd like to get a bit further down it first, and I need to continue with the German heavy line anyway. So. But it keeps getting requested. Yes, you know who you are, and yeah, it's so here you are. It's like I say, not a review, just a bit of a gameplay thing, just to well, just because you asked for it, really. I will sort of go on about it. I mean, I've had the Luchs. Well, I had it a long time ago. Probably one of the earlier tanks that I got to when I started playing the game, and I seem to remember, I mean, we're going back probably nearly a couple of years now since its release on PS4, but I seem to remember the Luchs with its top auto-loading gun. It's the same auto-loading gun, top one, that you get on the Leopard at Tier 5, and I seem to remember like a year and a half ago that it had a faster reload on the Luchs than it did on the Leopard. And then when I rebought this a couple of months ago, and to be honest, I rebought it and it just sort of sat in my garage, and I never really touched it or went in it. I don't know why. I just wanted it again, rebought it and just stuck it in my garage. Never really got round to doing a crew for it or anything else. But I seem to remember the autoloader having a better reload on this than it did on the Leopard, because that was one of the things that annoyed me about the Leopard. I might be misremembering it, and I'm, I might be completely wrong about that. But anyway. Regardless of that, and I just seem to remember it being a bit quicker as well. But again, I could just be misremembering. But in theory, it could have had a bit of a nerf since the light tank matchmaking got changed. I mean, this thing used to see Tier 7 on PC. It used to see even higher than that, I think. And now that the matchmaking sort of has changed for light tanks, and this only sees up to Tier 6 now, and again can be top tier. This is a top tier match. It's Tier 4. I find that this gun, which is the non-auto loading version, is a much more viable option for the tank. I think that when it's up to Tier 7, and let's be honest, you spent most of your time in Tier 6 matches, this gun just didn't cut it unless you're willing to fire just basically nothing but premium, because it's got lower pen on its standard rounds than the auto loader has, which I think is about 90mm. I want to say this is about 67 or something along those lines, but it has higher damage. Well, say higher damage. The other one has a higher burst potential. This obviously has a higher, one-shot alpha damage sort of thing. But its premium ammunition is pretty damn good. You get 130mm pen with its premium ammunition. So as long as you don't mind firing a few premium rounds when you are in those Tier 6 matches, and it's not against everything. It's just, there's a few things up there. The rest of it you can get around the side. I mean, there's stuff down here that this gun will struggle to pen, like a Matilda, for instance, unless you switch to your premium ammunition, which is what I've done. So, as long as you don't mind firing the odd few, I do think that this gun is now a more viable option for this tank. And you see, that's the problem with. That's my issue with the other gun, and why I don't use the other gun on this tank, is that really long reload. And the fact that you've just got to get close to actually be effective. And I'd rather have this gun, which is for instance, I was in a match earlier trying out the other gun again, trying to get some footage with the other gun, and I just couldn't. That's why it's both with this gun. And there was another tank, and basically, emptied my autoloader into it, a couple bounced, and it put him on, very low health. However, he got a standard tank gun. And as I was trying to sort of, I couldn't get away, I was just trying to circle. And as I was circling him, he got a couple of shots into me, which... basically, he got a couple of shots into me, and then somebody else finished me off just before I could reload. But that was the problem. I had that lengthy reload of just like, Christ, shit, what do I do? Just keep circling this guy and hope I don't get killed. And, it's... and again, these are my issues with it. I don't find the other gun very effective sort of in the early match. In the late match, as a late game assassin, it works very, very well, because you can sort of sneak up or nip up, pop out, empty your clip into them, and they're done. But I just think, like I said before, me personally, I prefer this gun. Well, the Matilda took me down, I misjudged that turn. I just prefer that gun because it's more reliable. You've only got a couple of seconds in between each shell and you can keep putting them out. And it's just more reliable at a distance as well. So it means that, you know, for me, with the Luchs, I can, if need be, I can sit a little bit further back, put in sniper shots in, relocate somewhere else, do it again, and then move up circle and just pop, 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 you know, keep putting them in there. But I know a lot of people do prefer the other gun. But, you know, these are just my opinions on it. That's why I don't have that other gun on it. But yeah, I swear it used to have a faster reload for a full clip. But anyway, here's the next one for you. And yeah, glitchy capture card again. I do apologise, and I thank you all for sort of bearing with me with that. Oh dear. Yeah, various builds have got in the way. So that's why I've not been able to pick one up this time. So I'll try and get one as soon as possible. I'll see if I can just figure out what's wrong with this. I've tried different cables and all sorts, and nothing seems to be doing anything. But anyway, again, another tier 4 match, Fisherman's Bay. An encounter this time, and I'm going to try and... Well, I didn't fancy, even though it's, you know, it's tier 4, I wanted a bit more room to manoeuvre. But like I said in the first video, I do feel that this used to be a bit quicker as well. And I know a lot of the tanks with the matchmaking, they did get various little nerfs. Some got a few to ground resistances, some, you know, to power to weight ratios, etc. Some got slightly smaller engines. You know, the Chaffee I think got a bit of a smaller engine and a reduction in top speed. And I'm not sure what happened to this, but it. And again, you know, like I said in the previous clip or video, or replay, if you will, it does. You know, it could be that I'm just misremembering it. It's been such a long time since I've played in it. But there's not really many from the enemy team that come up this way. A couple of brave artillery, two of which are now dead. There's a T-46, is that? Oh, that was lucky. Just turned as he shot and got a bounce. Keep trying to weave towards him, trying to judge his reload so I can turn as he's trying to sort of aim for fire. Didn't quite get it, but now I've managed to take him down. And again, if I'd have not killed him with that auto loader, I'd have had, you know, quite a lengthy reload to wait for there. Now, something you might notice as well, I have no sixth sense on this. In fact, I have no skills on this crew at all, and they're about 17% into camouflage. That shows how little I've played this tank. And again, that was my intention, to rebuy it, get a crew ready, trained up and everything for it, and I just never got round to it. I've renamed them. Some people may recognise the name, some people may not. It's from an old TV series, a British one, I don't know if it ever crossed the pond or anything, called Allo Allo, and it was basically a sitcom set in occupied France in the Second World War. And there was a French cafe owner called René, who basically was sort of stuck in the middle of trying to keep the occupying Germans happy, and they were sort of, you know, they were quite funny, hapless sort of thing. And trying to keep them happy, because obviously if he didn't, they would accuse him of being resistant and had him killed. Trying to keep the resistance happy and do whatever they want without letting the Germans know, because if they found out, the Germans would kill them. And if they didn't do what the resistance want, they would kill them for being collaborators. And also trying to hide 2 downed British airmen. So yeah, quite funny. You know, obviously I've not done it justice, but yeah, a funny TV show sitcom from the 80s. And anyway, one of the German officers, and I've completely digressed here away from what I'm going on about. But yeah, one of the German officers was called Gruber, Lieutenant Gruber, and he was very, very camp and quite funny. But the amusing thing is he had a little tank, and that's what he used to say. You know, he's always trying to get René to go for a ride in his little tank. And this is the smallest tank I own, and it's German. So my crew is now Gruber from Allo Allo. So yeah, completely random, completely digressed there, and to something just, yeah, anyway. I hoped I could get across the road there actually, but that guy nailed me just before I disappeared behind that building, so that was me out of that one again. There you go, a couple of what I hope you found were quite fun and entertaining rounds in the Luchs. Not a tank I take out very often, I must admit. It was just, like I said, in my plans to get it all sort of done up and get a decent crew in it, but I've just never got around to it. And it's been sat in my garage for about 3-4 months before I went back in it. Just to basically do this, do a bit of Luchs footage. So there you go. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. So until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.